Can one of y'all tell me, is this song copywritten? Please tell me that this isn't copyrighted. Maybe I should check that real quick. Is One Winged Angel copyrighted? Is One Winged Angel it's like, can you play it? Well, I should say that. I should say Angel on stream. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. All right. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I asked a question. Can you play One Wing Angel on stream? Nope. Just nope. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, because like it straight up just tells me the answer. Like usually you have to go through like Google's AI, but I've been using Brave. Good morning, folks, or good afternoon, I should say. So I thought it was noon. It's 1 p.m. Lost track of time a little bit, but I think we should be on track on what we're doing today. Basic gist, just gonna be playing a bunch of like 14 while kind of situating ourselves with whatever news pops up. There has been some V Shoujo news. I think the list updated. So now, Henya the Genius she's gone. Okay, we're good. So Henya's gone. Who else is gone? That's me, not you. That's me, not you. Not really too sure who else could be. I need to bring up the list again. Give me a second.
Hello there.
What's up, Rio? Looking at the list, let me see. I don't extra. Found a severe or repeat violation of spam, deceptive practice, and scams. Because of this, we have removed your channel from YouTube. Oi, YouTube, my stream archive channel was removed for spam. I've been uploading VODs on that channel for a couple of years now. What gives? They're stupid. First step is to appeal. Oh my god, I hate them. Oh no. Yeah, and everybody's just memeing on it. Anyway, let me check V Shoujo. How it feels seeing this V Shoujo drama being put on my timeline despite having no connections to the VTuber community. That's funny as hell. That is hilarious. Alright. Let me get that up and running. Whose archive channel did they hit for stupid reasons? Some call me Johnny. They hit his channel for dumb reasons. I don't know why they decided to hit his channel for dumb reasons. But you know how let me see. Congratulations to VJojo on being the world's first VTuber agency that has no VTuber. All gone. All of them are gone. All of them are gone. Yeah, the Wikipedia updated. Oh man. All right, let's take a look at that Wikipedia. Uh, what? Hello? Don't do that. Nobody raised their hand to do that. I need to turn that off somehow, some way. I'll figure that out. Hand tracking. Please upgrade for a more package. Use. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Um. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll figure it out later. Let's see. Oof. Oof. Oh, apricot is still in there? Oh man. Oof. Oof. Ooh. 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 I guess apricot is. What the hell? Why is she the only one there? Apricot the Lich. She is now the sole talent affiliated with Shoujo. Guys, look at this. Tell me this isn't messed up right now. Retired or left. F is F is for left the group or agency. R is for retired. Pink means that they're still in there, but look at this. We get to the staff, of course they're still there. They're about to bounce, I'm sure. Everybody who's supposed to have been signed up or won a spot in there, Mint left. She decided, oh yeah, this girl right here. She was supposed to accept the new signage. She was about to be a part of it, but she declined. She said, "Nah, I'm not doing this." Like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, this is the consequences of their fucking actions. Ooh. I don't know why Apricot is still there though. Does she have an explanation? Is she like does she like not have any other choice? She's a founding member. I don't want to see a face reveal. And that's fruit. Okay. Has she said anything? Nope. She has not said a damn thing. I'm guessing they're trying to make sure that she doesn't go anywhere. I'm wondering if she said anything on her Twitter. I've still been struggling to mentally process everything that when I think about it, my mind goes blank. My heart aches with talent and the hard work. So nothing. And she's doing this. She just walks in and she's like, what the, um, I don't know why she's still there. I don't know. I can't fathom the reason why she would still be there. I can't fathom the reason. There has to be a reason. Oh, there's a Nintendo Direct. When's that happening? Where's my Nintendo Direct? Where's my Nintendo Direct? Rumor. Direct scheduled for this month to be delayed indefinitely after Shigeru Miyamoto was caught in the recording studio tying rats to fireworks and setting them off. Okay. Alright. Yeah, yep, okay. That's unfortunate. What's going on?
Hi, Pokemon trainers. I'm Chris Brown from the Pokemon Company.
That's an unfortunate name to have.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. This is not a Nintendo Direct. Mobile games, bitches. I'm I'm actually looking forward to ZA and Champions to see how that works, if anything. Yeah, I'm not really too sure where the. I guess there is no direct. Guess there's no direct. And Apricot does not look like she is responding for the time being. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what she says. If she says anything. She is literally the sole. She is the sole talent that is left. The only one left. Everyone just popped and left. Everyone just popped and left. Like, how long have these people not been paid? Ooh, look at this. So we have total 4 teasers. Reveal that multi-monarch and who's going to join V Shoujo. This would be stepping down from being the CMO. Oh my gosh. The formerly part with Matora Khan, the Roach Girl. I was gonna say Cockroach Girl, but the Roach Girl, right? Yeah. She's supposed to be Roach, I think. Announced he would be stepping down from CMO. It was like Mautuden or something, and then Giga left and on 27th of June. Zentreya leaving in July 11th. I didn't know she left that early. Iron Mouse announced that she would be leaving Shoujo immediately due to withheld payment to both herself and the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Kei-san announced that she would be leaving. She was originally planning on leaving on the 31st. On the same day, everybody else left except for Apricot, who should just leave. There's like no reason for her to stay there. V Shoujo only remaining member Fruit has removed V Shoujo branding from her social media and is expecting to announce her resignation from the agency shortly. Okay. So she already removed it. Okay. Alright. This is all types of fucked up. I'm gonna just say that right now. It's a whole lot of like fucked up shit, dude. All types of it. Where is it? No, that's I need to go back here. There it is. Let's just chillax. I'm gonna chillax. Relaxing, maxing all cool, shooting some b-ball outside the school. There you go. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's get this out the way. All the news that are coming out right now, I'm going to try to keep an eye on. And on the meantime, I think we're just I'm gonna do my expert now, just to get that out the way. Expert and the level cap, at the very least, I'll get that out the way. But yeah, everything seems to be going absolutely ballistic. And this is what I was talking about. Johnny, some call me Johnny, and his archive channel got like somehow pretty much just like, I don't know, it's just gone. They said they removed it, and I don't know why they removed it. And YouTube's direct message to him was, the first step here is to appeal, which sends your channel directly to our policy team, and they'll follow up with you over email. You can appeal in studio or via this form. You can also view your appeal confirmation and anticipated review time in studio. And why would people heart this? That's stupid. It's the YouTube team is hearting it. And watch, nothing will happen. What's up? I'm about to go out, but thought I'd drop by for a minute. Hey, Mistra. Hey, listen. Glad to see you again after a good long while, and hope you have a good time out while you're out there. But I'm doing okay. We were just looking over what's going on with V Shoujo. Look at all these people just coming. It was like, oh, so you'll reply just to them, but not my deleted channel. My tweet is almost identical to theirs. What's her name? Crystal Harper at YouTube. This is beyond a joke now. They're obviously an arrow on your side, since millions of innocent channels terminated and appeals rejected in a flash. Just fix it for fuck's sake. Yeah, YouTube support suck. YouTube support just sucks. It's the worst. We got, what's up with Miku? Hatsuno Miku? Oh, they're talking about Hatsuno Miku. It's wild, but I think YouTube doesn't care unless you have 5 million subs or your views are not falling off. Well, they'll care about anybody who has a good significant amount of subs, like 100k. You know what's hey, saying favorite cartoon growing up? My favorite cartoon growing up. It's hard to say. I had a lot of them. I was during the age where cartoons was like the biggest thing in the world. If I were to think about it, oh, that's something really hard. Gosh, it's a hard thing to remember.
Hello there.
I want to say my favorite Hey, what's up, Marcus? I'll say that my favorite cartoon growing up, and that I always looked forward to. I'm gonna name a couple. So there's the Busy World of Richard Scarry, and that was when I was young. That was a cartoon a lot of people kind of don't know. There is the Busy World of Richard Scarry. Some of y'all probably have no idea what that is. Come back here! I gotta blow you up! There's another one called Ninja Pizza Cats. That was a Japanese to American show. It was pretty fun. Another one that is like my secret cartoon that I used to watch when I was a kid was Hamtaro. I don't know why I loved Hamtaro. There was also just like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles during that time. Let's see. What else? I'm naming you a lot, and that's only because it's like, all right, have fun. All right, Misha, you have yourself a good one. Trust me, they don't even care about 100k. They'll send a play button and then ban you. Jesus. But all right, Misha, you have yourself a good one. You know what's worth Little Caesar support? They send you a voice robot. Oh well, that's. You know what's funny about all that? I'm sure that Little Caesar is basically the same as everybody else. Everybody's the same with all that. It's absolutely incredible how things get to that point. I think The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Sat AM. That's another one. There's Bonkers. There's DuckTales. There's Darkwing Duck. There's Mr. Bumpy. Oh, my bad. I'm thinking there's Gargoyles. There really is a lot of cartoons that I used to watch as a kid. Pokemon was one of them though. Like Pokemon when it was actually good. No, I'm kidding. Let me stop. Pokemon when it was fun. When it was fun. And they kept up with like a bunch of lore things going on with it. All right, let me concentrate here. Here it is. I was wondering where that was. Ah! Okay. Oh no. What the heck? That was weird. Did he come after me? Did he come after me? He did. Yeah. Yeah, did he like gore me or something? I don't know, man. Hey Jim, it's been a while. How you doing? What about Digimon? Oh, definitely Digimon. Definitely. Like, they also remade that Digimon into something I would say was a very much needed improvement. It was a really good remake. I like the original Digimon, but I also like the remake. You know how in the original, they all grew up? And I was like, oh, so Matt marries Sora, right? So that was canonical in that series. In the remake, Sora has a connection with Tai. And I was like, wait, why? And it turns out they're actually like childhood friends of some sort. And I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. And it was more than that. They were like neighbors. And Sora wasn't like a depressing girl. Sorry I'm saying that, but she was less depressing. Like she was actually a very upcoming, like she could be a leader herself kind of thing. Which she kind of acted like when Tai was missing, and Tai acted as an actual leader instead of a goofball. So I was like real happy to see that. Like they made Joe kind of the same, but he was more like a big brother instead of a worrywart all the time. They made TK still TK, but, you know, having a bond with his brother Matt. Matt only cared about TK. That's the only thing he cared about. He cared for nobody else and went off on his own all the time. But, you know, with TK, obviously. Kairi comes in, and she's not the mysterious, seems to be some sort of god little sister. She wasn't the Digimon queen. She was special, by the way. She was still special. Oh, shoot me in the foot. I gotta go back and do that again. But, hey, you know what? Let's just figure this out. Hey, Ashley. What was the best Adult Swim show? For me, it was Big O. For me, yeah, for me it was Big O. Big O was my favorite. That or Cowboy Bebop. Wait, what was that for? Am I taking constant damage? I am. All right, give me a second. I had damage down. Sorry. Oh shoot. Uh-oh. Oh, come on! I'm doing that a lot! The damage down is gonna kill me. Yeah, damage down is gonna kill me, dude. Damage down killed me, dude. Oh, goodness gracious. Matt and TK sound like Ed and Alphonse rewrite. Matt was incredibly, like, he's not self-centered. He only cared about TK. That's the only person he cared about. He didn't care about really the rest of the party until, like, you know, Matt and Ty had like a sort of a fight against each other, and then they came to an understanding and he officially joined the group. But like effectively he was only there to save his brother. And as you probably could, like, neither Kyrie or TK were like, they were basically destined to be special in that case, I guess, because they were the only ones with angel Digimon, and having angel Digimon apparently makes you like one of the most special people in the digital world somehow. But it was because of that I guess people had like some complaints about it, so they kind of changed it up. TK was still more like a, you know, he was more or less a child. He was still more or less a child, and so was Kyrie. Kyrie depended a lot on Ty being the big brother, and Ty acted more of a leader. Mimi was still the same Mimi, but she didn't go to America like her older self. That didn't happen. I think it's because it was actually based off the manga this time instead of like people making it the fuck up or something. Because I made it up, it was like the I made it up kind of situation. As for anything on Adult Swim, there was like Cowboy Bebop, I love that. Big O was basically one of my favorites. That always came on. But I think after that, I'm not really too sure. I didn't watch a lot of Adult Swim, except for when I really shouldn't have been watching Adult Swim. Like, I remember Home Movies was a show that I constantly watched, even though I utterly had no idea why it was made the way it was. Anyway, Jim, it's been a while. It's been a while. Cowboy Bebop wasn't an Adult Swim show, it was a licensed product. I'm thinking things like Boondocks, Drawn Together, family movies, Aqua Teen, Hunger Force. Oh, you're thinking about that stuff? I mean, it was still there. I mean, I'm just saying. I took one hit. It's okay. I messed up the rotation. Oh shoot. I hope I'm far enough away here? Yeah, I'm far enough away. Nice. the person didn't want to move, so I had to move. I have no idea how to play Black Mage. Oh, it's literally like a couple buttons, buddy. It is literally just a couple buttons. It's not hard to play Black Mage at all. Like I'm playing to my strengths here. Wee. Simplest. It is the simplest thing ever. Simplest. It is the simplest thing ever. What the? Oh, I was about to say. Alright, I'm out of here. But if we're gonna go back to those cartoons that you were talking about, I would say my favorite, I guess, would be Aqua Teen Hunger Force, if not Big O. Because I mean, they're licensed for sure, whatever, but they showed up on Adult Swim nonetheless. But yeah, no, it probably was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And Drawn Together? I don't think Drawn Together was in Adult Swim. The Boondocks was. You know what? Boondocks might have been one of my, I guess, very close second favorite. Aqua Teen only because it was stupid and hilarious. But Boondocks was really good. For a point that no American cartoon is as good as Japan without copying it, e.g. Avatar. Cartoons have stagnated a little bit because they're using the same art style. You notice the bean-shaped mouths that you keep seeing? That's not totally the problem. It's not the art direction of that. It's more or less that they're copying each other, and they're not really coming up with anything original in terms of cartoon style. But there is Amphibia. Amphibia was amazing. That's an amazing cartoon. I think everybody should watch Amphibia. There was it called the Owl House? Owl House was good. You know, it's funny how the real good cartoons get canceled real fast. And yeah, it is kind of sad. It's stupid easy now. Yeah, Black Mage is stupid easy. There's really no difficulty to it. It was next up on the list that made to make Brain Dead, I guess. They want to make jobs easier to use for accessibility, but the problem is that that is something kind of lost in the honability in terms of gaming. Like, I know they don't want people to struggle to play the game, but video games should be kind of like adaptable to the person. Like, as they continue, like, they start with something easy and then they keep going up and they become better at the job or better at the game as the game goes on. What I think a lot of people are fearing, and I think Yoshi P fears, is gaming being inaccessible to a lot of people because the gameplay is either like too hard, too difficult, or too not very understandable. But what he's doing is making the game kind of like less valuable because of that. You liked Robot Chicken? Robot Chicken is really good. The only good 2 cartoons in 20 years have been My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and Netflix Carmen Sandiego. I disagree. There has been really good cartoons. Castlevania is one. Not the second, not what was it? Castlevania, I think that one was the second. Just the one with Richter in it. That one wasn't as good as the first version of the first series of Castlevania. That was really good. I know this is a movie, but K-pop Demon Hunters was really, really fun. I think everybody should watch that. Like I said, Amphibia was really, really good. It had mature themes in it that it will blow over the kids, but like, you know, teenagers and adults will get it. I'm not going to say Steven Universe, but it's pivotal that Steven Universe existed. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is something that I didn't sit down and really I didn't watch unless I had a friend watching, so I wasn't counted as a brony or anything like that. I was like, alright, I'll watch it if you're there, kind of thing. Problem I have with the mindset of wanting to make stuff more approachable is that not all jobs should be like that. I think a video game, you should find the identity of the video game, and what they establish is the identity of the video game, where it's easy for people to come in, do the story, and not really think about the battle system too much. Then they gave a bunch of harder content like Palace of the Dead Solo, which they have not rebalanced at all, because now it's nigh impossible for a Dark Knight to go through Palace of the Dead Solo now, because they took away Plunge. So because of that, because they don't have Plunge anymore, it's now much harder to get past floor 180. I've not seen a single floor 180 clear as the new iteration of Dark Knight, but I'm sure somebody's going to figure out a way. Steven Universe looked so ugly. Steven Universe was still using like the bean-shaped one and the bean-shaped mouths and the simplistic cartoon style of that. It dove into a lot of very important themes for both children and adults, and it didn't really show. So Steven Universe is kind of like the epitome of the soft, the strong but soft hero, where you don't have to be like big, strong, and macho to be a good man, is what they were saying. But what Steven Universe really did show was a lot of emotional had a lot of emotional anguish and baggage that, you know, some people just fell off from. It quickly was a thing where it's like, yeah, I'm not here for that. Like after Kim Possible and Teen Titan cartoons flatlined, I will go even further. I would say it's not that they flatlined, it just became rare to find good cartoons. Like, has anybody heard? There was a guy, I forgot his name, but he made a really good cartoon before, and then now he's making something about dogs, and this one dog, like he's making an adult cartoon about a dog who liked to hump everything, and so now he's getting fixed, and that dog is going to go around humping things before he loses his balls. And I'm like, why would you make something like that? Like, what the hell? Why would you make something like that? And excuse me. And you know, I would love to know, like, what is going on in his mind for that. Okay, alright. I see it now. Okay, cool. I'm not asking for all jobs to be hard, I just think that they need to find a balance of jobs that are more approachable and jobs that are meant to be harder to play. I think I think every job should have easy to get into and hard to master, right? Easy to approach, hard to master. If they made jobs, like specific jobs, really hard to do, and they output the most amount of damage, people are going to complain about it, obviously. So obviously, balance should be kind of like a thing where they're close to each other, and it doesn't really matter who's like what does the most damage or what doesn't do the most damage. Like, at least get close enough to it. There's always going to be numbers that isn't accountable for it. But every job, I think, should be easy to approach but hard to master. Static Shock, Kim Possible, Teen Titans, a few standouts for 2000 and 2004. All of them are good cartoons, each and every one of them. We're forgetting a slew, like so many cartoons during that time that was super good. We're forgetting so many of them. I come from an era that's like before that, and you know, after that, like one of my favorite, like beyond Kim Possible on Disney, I would love to watch. I would rewatch Gargoyles all the damn time until they moved it over to Toon Disney, and I was just like, well, okay, I guess I need to pay for Toon Disney. Well, my parents had to pay for Toon Disney, and they never did for like so many years. Paladin pre-rework, easy to get into, hard to master. I guess that's a good example, yeah. Static Shock was really good. I loved Static Shock. That was on WB 17. The channel was 17 for me. I don't know what it was for you guys, but it was WB. Then there was like before it was called 4Kids, they had Fox Kids. There was also a channel called ABC Family, which also hosted Jetix. There was Dragon Booster. That was a show. I love Dragon Booster. They tried to make that same studio tried to make something called Slugterra. Slugterra was a really good cartoon. Had a plot. People died. It was exciting because what they were doing was shooting slugs out of their guns, and the slugs became like giant monsters that did special powers. There was also, I would say, Pepper Ann was on ABC until it was moved over to the Disney. There was Doug for Nickelodeon until they had like the second series of Doug, which was also moved over to Disney. His best friend's name was Skeeter. He had a formal name like Normal or something like that, but his nickname was Skeeter. My favorite Cartoon Network show was Ed, Edd and Eddy. That was a good one. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That's also a good one. I will also throw in there, even though you gotta admit it was still a good show, the Powerpuff Girls. That was good. That was good before they brought Powerpuff Girls back and did some crazy, dumb, I don't know, millennial modern shit to it, man. It was horrible what they did to the Powerpuff Girls. Like, who are these people that are in charge with these shows? This is no wonder why they were like, okay, we gotta eject real fast. Excuse me. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls was goated. Dexter's Laboratory was also in it. Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Going even further back with Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you know, you guys won't know what like if I said the Wacky Racers, which all the Wacky Racers had like all their Hanna-Barbera cartoons racing each other except for Scooby-Doo. And I was there during the time of Scooby-Doo, and then they kept remaking Scooby-Doo again and again and again and again. So there was like Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, and Scrappy-Doo. There was a time where it was just Scooby, Shaggy, and his girlfriend. Don't know what happened to his girlfriend. Shaggy was always wearing a red shirt for whatever reason. They kept making movies out of it too. Wacky Races, yeah, that was a good time because it was a bunch of cartoons like the Perils of Penelope Pitstop. You guys won't know what that is, but like there was like a bad guy trying to always assassinate Penelope for her fortune, and it was who was protecting her was like short mobsters. It was short mobsters who were Penelope's best friends, but they were like small little dwarf short mobsters who was protecting Penelope the whole entire way. And they did that in the Wacky Races too. So whenever Penelope was being like hunted down in the Wacky Races, those guys would like sacrifice their car to protect her. But like if you look up Hanna-Barbera cartoons, there was a whole bunch of them. Like Johnny Bravo, man, they're never going to show Johnny Bravo on Cartoon Network ever again because it's Johnny Bravo and the way he approached women. He would get beaten up by all the women anyway, so. But y'all had me like really thinking, reminiscing, looking back at all the stuff that was going on back then. The Mask. The thing about The Mask is that I think I saw the movie first with Jim Carrey. And after I saw the cartoon, I wasn't really too sure I wanted to watch the cartoon, the Mask, the cartoon. It was there and I liked it. I mean, I was watching things like The Incredible Hulk, X-Men, anything related to the Marvels, the Spider-Man, and they remade Spider-Man over and over and over and over and over again. Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, and they went from like Batman the animated series to Batman and Robin, and they really, all the Batman shows were actually pretty good until they started doing something like I forgot what that Batman series was called, but it was based off of like Adam West Batman. Then there was like The Batman where they rebooted the entire series and he was only in like 1 year in of being the Batman, and it was actually really, really good, to be honest. Don't make me bring out the wedgie compilations. Oh my goodness, no. I don't really remember too much of that. Didn't they also make Ace Venture? I think I'm not too sure if they made Ace Venture. I know if I remember another Adult Swim cartoon, it was the Venture Brothers. Cartoon Network, I used to watch Johnny Quest like all the frickin' time when it came on, but it came on in the morning, so I had to get up real early to watch it. Zoids was another one. Zoids was a work of art. They had Zoids the Chaotic Century and then just like Liger Zero Zoids. Now the Chaotic Century was amazing. And Liger Zero was also amazing, but that show like ended like real quick. They were just like Liger Zero. What was the signature? It was like Strike Laser Claw. I was like, that is so stupid. But I love it. I'm here for it. Chaotic Century, I would say, is a better series. They just ramped up the animation for the Liger Zero series. They had the organoid units, and then organoids came from Chaotic Century. Chaotic Century was better though. Chaotic Century was much better. Was unhealthily addicted to Totally Spies. Totally Spies was another one. Like, I know that wasn't geared towards boys. That was geared towards girls. But boys watched it too. And it's weird. It's like Sailor Moon. Boys watch Sailor Moon, but never said they watched Sailor Moon. The rule is that you knew Sailor Moon, but you can't admit that you watched it. Dragon Ball Z though? It's over. Everybody talked about Dragon Ball Z. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. If you didn't like Dragon Ball Z, you weren't cool. If you did not like Dragon Ball Z, you were not cool. They were just like, "Did you see Dragon Ball Z last night?" And I was like, "Yeah." Man, I have been Sailor Moon and my second favorite anime of all time, Sailor Moon. Yeah, the ending had me a little bit sad though. I heard the manga was that the other Sailor Scouts like sacrificed themselves for Sailor Moon, and then like the ending was very somber. I hate when they do that. And then they changed it in the anime where the other Sailor Scouts became boys, and Sailor Moon just ended up being the Moon Princess again with, you know, the prince, who turned out to be Tuxedo Mask. So it was a good time though. It was a good time. Sailor Moon was fun. Either ending was silly. Like, the Sailor Scouts could have just still been the Sailor Scouts. I don't understand why they didn't do that. Lupin the Third? Oh, man. Lupin the Third! Lupin the Third! Yeah, you bring up some memories there. Not just Lupin. Like, I think, is Conan the Detective still going on to this day? Did they finish that? That should have been finished a long time ago. I'm pretty sure Conan has been done for years, right? I should check. I'm gonna check and see if Conan the Detective has finally been like ended. It should have. Because you can't keep something that going for that long. Conan the Detective. Case closed. Good fucking lord. Good God. Holy crap. It's still going. Case closed is still going. From 1994 to today. The manga is still going. How? That's literally 31 years of age. And the animated television series is still going. That's 29 years old at this point. There's no way. This show should have been long done. Oh. Oh man, like I used to watch it all the time too. I used to watch it all the time because the cases were actually really good. The cases were fun, finding out who did who, what murder happened, or any mystery that came about. That was fun. But like it's still going. Good God. Why? Why? Why is it still going? The secret is hiring good writers to keep it going. But yeah, 30 years? No. No. I would have retired or at least moved on. I would have moved on. Some of them probably did, but like that's too long. That's too long. They should have moved on a long time ago. I'm trying to think. There's some obscure shows that some people didn't watch. Like there's like this whole Dino Team, which was a ripoff of Street Sharks, which Street Sharks was a ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Street Sharks was unshameably a ripoff because whenever pizza was brought up, the sharks would like say, "Disgusting, ill pizza, ugh." They would always eat hamburgers and fries and other American shit. It was like, give me those burgers. But the show was actually fun. They could have held their own if it wasn't for the fact that they were targeting trying to beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They shouldn't have done that. There were some things that was that I wish they could have kept going with Street Sharks, but they didn't do that. But anybody remember Bonkers? Bonkers was good. Megas XLR, I do remember that. It's like, I love giant robots. We love giant robots. Chicks love giant robots. I love the first episode. His explanation, he was just like, "Oh, I couldn't vibe for." Basically, was like, I couldn't vibe with that whole head on there, so I put my car on it. Just the look of the car being the head always had me messed up. I couldn't stop laughing because it was just like Mega's XLR and his car is the head. Oh man, but it was a good show. It was a good fun show, but they canceled it due to like reasons, I guess. That was during the time they were canceling every show. They brought on every show, but they canceled every show. Oh man, the good times, good times. Oh man. Ugh. Oh man, that was funny. Oh. Oh. There he goes. Sorry, that random question that this morning saying I found the minion code from the artwork I purchased a month ago. You found it? Okay. I don't think I used it, so what the hell was that? I gotta check that afterwards. Alright. Okay, a samurai's in here. I'm gonna have to work my ass off. It registered right before I tried to... Ooh. That's a fast acting spell. Yeah, it's all good art. Silliest game, anime toy combination was Beyblade. Beyblade was kind of fun though. Like, they made the animation hype for no reason. It was literally like one of the better animated series that came out. And it was about tops. It was funny. Beyblade tried so hard and got nowhere. No, they had a following. They had a following. It got somewhere. They made like 4 different seasons. It's like, how many times can the main character like win? Oh, okay, let's take his friends away. Okay. Whee! Yeah, Samurai has all their gear, I'm pretty sure. Right? Yep, Samurai has their better gear. But literally, Beyblade's Japanese acid tripping. I mean, that was the thing. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was hot shit. Like, it was one of the better ones that came out, right? And the thing is that my favorite season will always be with Yusei with 5Ds, the Japanese version, because they kind of messed it up with the 4Kids. 4Kids was a mess. Instead of saying like, oh, they're dead, they say Shadow Realm. Which was funny because one of the characters did fall to her death, and 4Kids, they were like, they didn't want to show the body, so what they did was make Carla fall into the shadows. She went to the Shadow Realm. That was stupid. Okay. No! Yuki versus Arcada? I don't quite remember that one. He died. Yeah, I don't remember that one where the saw blades were censored into energy disc. Oh yeah! Okay, I remember that. And they were just like, if you get hit by this, you're going to be sent to the Shadow Realm. I remember that. Who the fuck were you trying to fool? Which is worse? Take your poison. Activists, localizers, or 4Kids? I'll take 4Kids. Because activists will utterly destroy something. 4Kids will at least try to salvage something. You can salvage something from 4Kids. They made the rap for One Piece, so. Four Kids would be a localizer. They are localizers, but they were specific activist vocalizers, is what she was saying. And 4Kids was at least trying to salvage something. The rare hunter who was using recolored magic, dark magician. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. That rap still goes hard. It does. It still goes hard. There was one duel they could not censor for the life of them, though. Yugi versus Mind Controller Broly. I mean, they couldn't. Like, I don't know what you were going to try to... Are you going to try to confuse Joey from... Like, I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do with Joey. And then after this, we're going into Occult Crescent. I have to go into Occult Crescent after this. Can't do that 3 times in a row, right? Aha! Bro, who's he hitting? They had T get crushed by the container if Yugi refused to fight. Fun fact, the manga had her threaten to swallow something that would kill her instead. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh was dark. They had like gambling games and everything like that. It was crazy. Hold on. Okay. Oh. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That was good. That was good. Samurai beat me just by a little bit. Samurai is really good. I wouldn't count myself though as being like a fantastic black mage or anything like that. How do you know? Yep, I don't have a calculator. What are you talking about? Don't know what you're talking about. I might be getting back into doing some Savage though. Forbidden Arts. Shh, calculator. You could also see the aggro table. I mean, you could also see the aggro table, but that's not always permeable to like how much damage it's done, depending on the class or job. It's not always permanent. Because Samurai and I were just about the same spot. We would never do that. Yeah, I would never. What are you guys talking about? I would never. Ooh, bacon. Bacon. I found bacon. Samurai would be a tank. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Samurai was intended to be a tank in Final Fantasy XI. I'm not too sure. Isn't Viper top 5 DPS? Been a while since I last played. I think it still is. Sam was meant to be a tank in 11, yes, but its kit turned out to be better for DPS. Yeah, but I believe you could still use Samurai as a tank, which is the funny thing about it. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Guess we're coming back later with this one. Look at that. That makes no damn sense. There is nobody here. We could probably do something else anyway. And Ninja became the tank? Yeah, Ninja became the tank, which is the funniest thing in the world. They made a kit that was supposed to be DPS and have it hard for a ninja to be hit, but they were like, oh, you know what? It's a tank now. And then they went full in on the ninja being tank, which was the funny thing about it. Yeah, a lot of the evasion, it was an evasion tank, and the shadow clones. Supposed to be taking a Heaven's Word instead of a Dark Knight, but they did not like how the kit turned out and went for Dark Knight instead. Interesting. Have you seen the animation quality of Netflix Carmen Sandiego? I think I have. Yeah. I think it's alright. Let me see. Did I change it? Am I misremembering? I'll check real quick. I'm gonna check the animation out. Yeah. No, I've seen this animation before. It's alright. It's okay. Wait, she's a Nintendo game now? Uh-oh. Oh god. Who was your waifu if you had one? I'm not gonna lie, I did have a waifu when I was a kid. You'll probably be like, alright, yeah, that's very typical. But it was Sailor Jupiter, and then I went from Sailor Jupiter to Sailor Mercury. I don't know. I went from the tall, sportsy girl to the shy, bookish girl. But yeah, basically. That was my those were my waifus. But other than that, when I was a kid, I was mostly like, I wanted to see like strong, heroic men. I was in the camp of Dark Knight being a DPS in Heaven's Word. I think Dark Knight could have been either or, a tank or DPS. I would have been fine with either or. As long as it was in the game. This is bacon. Dark Knight could have been either or, and I would have been, yeah, I would have been fine, yeah. Oh, I ate that piece. That piece gone now? Person I really liked was Yuna from Final Fantasy X2 or Zenji in Dynasty Warriors. Yuna's alright. I would have probably Yeah, probably geared towards X2 Yuna. Even though I really do like Final Fantasy X Yuna. But I wasn't looking at Yuna. I was looking at Lulu or Riku. And I was gearing a lot towards Lulu. Lulu was that girl. I am out of water. I will forever say Red Mage is not a Spellblade. It isn't. It's not supposed to be. It's not a Spellblade. Spellblades are very different. Oh, you like Jun Kazama? Really? Jun's nice. But when I was playing Tekken, I was playing Tekken and I was trying to beat the crap out of my friends. I really didn't have like a waifu in that. When I was younger, I wasn't paying attention to waifus. I had like my childhood crushes and everything like that, but that wasn't more important than me just being a kid, to be perfectly honest. They aren't. That would be Mystic Knight. Mystic Knight is a sort of Spellblade. You're right. You're right. So Mystic Knight is a Spellblade. But it's like you could still have a Spellblade in the game. Mystic Knight could be changed up. They technically are more or less like, tanky Spellbladers. It would be Indeed or Rune Fencer. Rune Fencer typically uses great swords. They use great swords, and I found this out. They use great swords to inscribe a rune on the blade itself. Also, I mean, even though they have runes all over their bodies, it's just people on 14 like to use the excuse that Red Mage is a Spellblade class. That's stupid. They shouldn't say that. Like, did you not see them cast a spell? That's not Spellblade. Spellblades are different. I don't think people who say that understand what a Spellblade is. Paladin is your Spellblade. Paladin is not a Spellblade. Lost a... You're probably saying that because people kept saying that to you, right, Ashley? They was like, Paladin is a Spellblade! Lost a lot of my childhood memories thanks to prescription drugs. Jesus Christ. So I only have teen memories of waifus. Jesus. I mean, I was on like Ritalin. Paladin is even further from Spellblade than Red Mage. Well, of course. Still sad about Blue being limited. Sucks. Seems like people are mixing Spellblade and Spell Sword. So, to be honest, Spellblades and Spell Swords can be interchangeable, but the difference between a Spellblade and a Spell Sword is that usually when they say Spellblade, it's the mixing of certain abilities to augment the weapon, and Spell Sword, they use spells on top of their martial abilities. Doesn't mean that they also don't have like some of Spellblade abilities. It's interchangeable, but usually they kind of mean the same thing, and it's like confusing in some ways. But it doesn't matter whether they use Spellblade or Spell Sword. They could have Spell Sword being like an interim of a type of job, and Spell Sword or Spellblade being the job, and I guess Spell Sword is the type of job. I don't know. Ninja is more of a Spellblade than Red Mage, and Paladin is more of a Spellblade than Red Mage in my opinion. Paladin is not a Spellblade. Just to tell you what a Spellblade is, just so that we can have like a bit of an understanding. So a Spellblade is a warrior that does use a sword and spells at the same time, but they use the sword as a medium. So it's either augmenting the sword to use elemental abilities, or they use the sword to throw out a lot of magical abilities. So like a spell blade would cover their sword with fire and they would hit it using martial abilities. A spell sword would cover their sword with fire if they really want to, or they'll use something like flame slash or water blade or ice slash or something like that. That's the big difference here. The reason why I can't say Paladin is not a spell sword or a spell blade is because they are a knight that can use white magic. And they don't augment their abilities through their weapons. That's why they're not really they're not at all much of a spell blade. They're more or less, they're just their own thing. They are a priest that use a sword. And ninjas do not typically see spells and ninjutsu as the same thing. For whatever reason. Is it a certain type of spell? Yes. However, what they say is that their abilities as ninjas is run through like what they want to call like the veins of the earth, or dragon veins. And so like whenever they use like maybe like Raikou, which is the lightning ability, they're running that through a dragon vein. Yeah, I have to start turning lore master Syncweaver here. Are you even Diablo 2 sorceress would be more of a spell blade if built that way? The way they made it, yeah, kinda. Isn't that an option though? Because in Last Epoch, the sorcerer could become a spell sword. They can literally be granted a great sword and they shoot spells from it. You can make the sorcerer I was about to say sorcerer into more of a spell blade in Diablo 2. True. Too bad that build sucks. It also sucks in in Last Epoch as well. Paladin definitely falls into the spell sword category that I'll agree with. I still can't say that. Well, they're closer to a spell sword, but they're more or less priests with a sword. So they're close to it, but they're not a spell blade. Because it's technically magic, but the idea behind it is kind of weird. They're using magic not through the weapon. That's why I can't really say it's too much of a spell sword or a spell blade. At the very least, red mages do run spells through their blades. Sorcerer in Last Epoch has a spell blade class, yeah. Of course, on a job of 14 is going to design from. Well, mage, since that is what he's called. Well, like I said, I can't see Paladin being a spell sword or a spell blade because they don't run magic through their weapons. You could take their weapons away and they can use magic. They don't focus it through their weapons. And like I said before, a spell sword can augment their swords, or they can spell blades augment their weapons via magic, and spell swords run magic through their weapons. That's the difference. About calling a spade a spade. I think spells and just effective range a threat. For instance, Dragoon is weaker at range than Ninja. True, because at the end of the day, a Dragoon has to get in for most of their attacks. They're like medium range spears. They could throw their spears, but they need their spears, so they have to jump to you. It's scary to think what a Dragoon can actually do if their full potential was brought about. Like Kain from Final Fantasy IV. He could just jump to anyone he wants to. So like it's weird. Canonically, a Dragoon is supposed to be very good at killing dragons, of course, but that's because they're really good at getting into the air. So if you think about it, if Dragoon was at a distance and you're about to do a spell and he just jumps and you're like, where the f did he go? And then you look up and there he is. He's right about to pounce on you. So it becomes very crucial for anyone to get out of the way of a Dragoon. Plus, in the Final Fantasy series, when they jump, they have like an invincible turn, I should say. It's just everything misses them. Wait, is Sephiroth the Dragoon with the katana? No. Despite the Aerith scene, no. He is technically still a greatsword user because of how big his sword is. Technically a cross between like samurai and a greatsword user. But he has all types of spells. He's a master at pretty much everything. He can use every weapon. That's how dangerous he is. He could do every spell and do every weapon. In the turn-based game, they can't be hit while in the air. Yeah. The Dragoon is at their full potential. The sky's the limit, pretty much. Yeah. Well, literally. Right, literally. They go into the sky, they don't come back down for a while. Weapon master like Furion. Yeah, pretty much. But I would say he's beyond that. He's beyond just like a weapon master. He could use every weapon and use every spell. So you could say he's the master of all trades, I would say. I'd say he's more or less a weapon master. Weapon master is pretty much on par with everybody else, because Furion in Dissidia can use magic just as well, proficiently, but not at like everybody else. Like, he's not so good at spells as like Shantoto or Terra, who are basically mages. And Bartz is a weird one. He's a mimic. Or a mime, sorry, not a mimic, sorry, I apologize, he's not a mimic, he's a mime. And as a mime, he takes abilities from his friends and uses them and mixes it up, which, good on him, honestly. His EX ability is more proficient in just being in EX mode, because in EX mode, kind of like how Sephiroth in EX mode, he does like double damage. And everybody else does the same thing, they do double damage, but for Bart, he becomes a master of all weapons and the master of his mime job, so his abilities get augmented. So like, not just double damage, but it's like double the combo. Top mage of Final Fantasy history, my votes are Selphie or Emmett Selk. In Final Fantasy history, that's a hard one. It really is. Like, let's take away... We have to take away certain games that cheat. So you can't use Final Fantasy 7 or 8 because technically spellcasting is not in there. That's either the junction system or materia. If you think about Terra, she's like on a world conquest level when she becomes her Esper form. Once she like fully unlocks it. I would even say Kefka is the best magic user. Like the top mage in Final Fantasy history. I would think it's Kefka. Because he becomes the god of magic. And the only person that could be on par with that, like, I can't even say like Lulu from Final Fantasy X. Like, she has her weaknesses. Still thinking. Can't use 13 or 15 or even 16. 1, 2, and 3 are also out. The twins in 4 could be a good candidate, but because they become master mages at the age of like 8. They become the chiefs of their town at teenage years. I don't know. I guess it's Kefka. Kefka becomes the god of magic. And what's higher than the god of magic? Really? It took like 16 people to take him down. Selphie still has magic even without junction. Well, Selphie is not the god of magic. So Selphie is Selphie. She has I guess she does have magic without the junction system, but she's weaker without the junction system. You have Kefka, who absorbed the primary magics of 3 gods. That's not that. Oh yeah, no, I'm not taking that job. I didn't realize this, but apparently, the United States Postal Service, their wages is abysmal. They start you at like $16, $15 an hour, and if you're an assistant, $13 an hour. And I'm like, why would I take that job? Like, why? Why would I do that? I might as well go work for the public transport system there. At least they pay like above board, you know? I'd argue Unalesca is up there in the top candidates. She can be. Unalesca in particular, she can be. It took... how many of them were there? It took them like 8 people to take her down. But I'm still gonna say that the top contender of all mages is probably Kefka. If we're going by like Final Fantasy history, you have the god of magic destroying the entire world. He destroyed the entire world. like you gotta think about that. The heroes lost, and then they had to scour the destroyed, changed world to find each other again. Then they had to figure out how they're going to defeat someone who could be considered a god. And when they went up there was no guarantee of them coming back. I didn't... Oh, man. The ninja, his ending was crazy in Final Fantasy VI. Because I think he decided to stay. Like, he kind of, like... He had so much guilt. You find out that his daughter became the Pictomancer girl. And it's also found out that he just took like a vow, like a warrior's vow, to never show his identity to his own daughter, which sucks. Even though they were so close, they were right next to each other. I would have loved to see a remake where he reveals himself, like in the future or something, to his own daughter. And even if it was like on his deathbed, sheesh. Kefka, Unalesca, Emmett Selk. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I would also probably... I want to say you could put Yevon up there. Yevon is an entity, though. But he's still a spellcaster, more or less a summoner. He could still use spells, and he's supposed to be a god in Final Fantasy X. Even though he's like the weakest thing I've ever fought in my life. Kind of hard to dethrone Kefka considering he did destroy the world. Yeah, he destroyed the world, so it's like, it's whatever. You know what I'm going to do? I wanted to play some more Alterium Shift. That's a RPG that you guys probably do not know. But I think I'm going to try to do a solo run in Barony. I was also going to try to play Mario Kart. I'm trying to learn the tricks to Mario Kart, to be honest. But for protagonists, who's the strongest mage out of the protagonists? Who is the strongest mage protagonist? Alright, hear me out. If we're talking about mages, right? Strictly mages, not counting Shantoto, well, you have to count her. She's a mage and she's a protagonist. But she's not like a protagonist you play with. She's a protagonist that you cannot play as. You can, I guess, she can be in your party. Yeah, in 11 in more or less kind of like a temporary form, right? But for like a playable protagonist, I would say the strongest mage, right? I would probably say either it's between Lulu and Vivi. Vivi, because when you go further into the game, he starts learning like ultimate tier magic, and he can use double casting on them when he goes in trance. But Lulu can do multi spells like over and over and over and over, like I would say like 6 to 7 times. So if it's like an ultimate spell, she can use like flare like 4 or 5 times in a row. That's her in overdrive. And if we're going outside playable protagonist, then it's Shantoto. It's Shantoto. Like, that's a given. I'm sorry, not counting Shantoto is not... You can't do that. She is a protagonist, and when it comes to protagonists outside of being controlled, it's Shantoto. Selfie limit break the end is so good. It is... But Shantoto brought the world to its knees. It is. And I would say, like, incomparable to... I mean, if you think about 12, Final Fantasy 12s, if you count them, those look like those are world enders. Like, here, let me show you. Okay. And just to be fair, we're gonna look up Selfie, right? She can still use magic, but her magic isn't as good without the junction system. She's probably more neutral, to be honest. Shantoto? Oh no, she's a protagonist. She does things for herself, but here's her logic. If there is a problem that is interfering with what she's doing, she will do whatever it means to take care of it. But the thing is that if things are peaceful, she gets her way. If it's not peaceful, she can't get her way, and it's annoying to her. That's her thought process. If you're useful to her, she will use you. If you're not useful, she will ignore you. Aerith, lore-wise, is so strong she retains her consciousness in the live stream and was half before stopping Meteor. Aerith is the only reason why Aerith is allowed to even have her consciousness within the live stream is because she is an ancient. So all of her people can do the same thing. So she's not special in that, unfortunately. But she is she went into the live stream, which, you know, unbeknownst to Sephiroth, was his biggest mistake. And she communicated with not just the whole world, the live stream, and her ancestors, but was able to use the live stream to stop Meteor. Her being an ancient is what helped her go into the live stream and be conscious in the live stream. That's why I'm saying she's probably a bit more on the neutral side. The thing about neutrality with Shantoto is that she doesn't ignore dangerous things. If she was truly neutral, she would probably need to be pushed to save the world. It is imperative that the world is safe. In her words, it's imperative that the world is safe so she can do whatever she wants. So, in all technicality, she's only doing good for selfish reasons, but it's for the benefit of not just her, but for everybody else. Shantoto is the doctor from Doctor Who. Shantoto is the doctor from Doctor Who. Did Shantoto show up in Doctor Who? I don't know. I stopped watching Doctor Who when Jodie Whittaker came into the scene. I just like I tried to watch with Jodie Whittaker in there, but it just did not work out. Like it just the whole thing was messed up. I'm gonna change chatting. I'm just gonna change to just chatting now. I do apologize if there's any Jodie Whittaker fans out there, I guess. But she just her, it wasn't her as an actor, it was the writing. The writing was bad. I think they meant more that she feels similar to the Doctor. Jodie was great. Chibnall can eat a door. Jodie as an actor is great. Her as the Doctor could have been good, but the writing was horrible. Like, Jodie Whittaker is a good actor, but what she was working with just sucked. So I do not blame Jodie Whittaker for, like, whatever was going on in that show. Like, I have no idea what the fuck was going on, bro. It didn't make any sense, the writing. It didn't make any sense where they were going with the lore and everything. Like, someone sat me down and said, you need to watch The Timeless Children. I said, do you want me to sell my soul or something? And they were just like, no, you just need to watch it. I'm like, why do I need to watch it? And they were just like, it's really bad. They changed everything. And I'm like, then why do I need to watch it? I don't want to watch it. It's like Brie Larson in Captain Marvel. She was given nothing but a script. True, Brie Larson is a good actor. Nothing against Brie Larson herself. She is a good actor. It's the writing. It's always the writing. Like, you could not salvage Captain Marvel, really. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Captain Marvel wasn't too horrible. It was Mary Sue the movie. And I'm not a fan of Mary Sue stories. So that's... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do it with Mary Sue movies. But God, I can't. Like, we're being reminded that Doctor Who became horrible. Like, I'm a younger Doctor Who fan because I started on 10 with David. Sorry, I gotta get the last name. David Tennant. Sorry, I don't know why it just popped up in my head like that. So I started with David Tennant, and then my favorite Doctor out of the Who series is Matt Smith. I think that was the most interesting. But, you know, I'm a younger Doctor Who fan. I didn't get into it till David Tennant, so... And people love David Tennant until they brought him back, and it was like, why? People like the quartering didn't make things fun for people. He made 1,000 videos on her and was clearly hate jerking. There is something to say about the quartering and people who make similar content like the quartering. Now, I'm not saying this against the quartering. He could do whatever he wants. He can have his own opinion. It's just not... When you look at the situation outside and you're putting your opinion into something, right? And people will follow that opinion for sure. But there's like certain nuances that sometimes get ignored or they don't want to talk about. Like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, it wasn't Jodie Whittaker's fault that it was bad. It was the writing that was bad. Jodie Whittaker should just leave the Doctor behind and move on. She'll make a success somewhere else. Like that's my opinion on things. I can't really hate on an actor if the actor's given something of a bad story. It's just like it's just so bad to see so many people online hating on someone when it's like that's not them writing the story. And like what's his name? I'm trying to remember the name of the new Doctor. He's the Black Doctor, the first Black Doctor. I'm trying to remember the name. I don't remember his name. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I could always look it up. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that. It was like Nui Gatwa or something. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. I'm trying not to be that person. Like, even if I don't like his performance. Okay, Shooty, gotcha, Shooty, okay. Sorry to say this, but even his series didn't bring it back neither. Like, he's supposed to be like the first black gay doctor. All right, that's fine. I don't care. How's the writing? Not good at all. They made him out to be the tragic savior. That was not needed. That was not needed. He didn't need to be some sort of tragic savior. And I didn't watch a single episode. I only saw like clips and like little clips on YouTube, just to see like, okay, where's Doctor Who at this point? That's where things plummeted down. No, things plummeted down, I will have to say, with Capaldi. And that's only because the writing became, like, stringent. Like, very, very stiff. And not that it was trying to show some sort of form of writing, and there was, like, no activist, I think, was trying to be put through Capaldi. But I think his writing for his Doctor was more or less kind of strained. Like, one of his companions became a Cyberman, and then she became a liquid monster, and I was like, what happened? Because it was the liquid monster it was a liquid entity that stole her best friend, drowned her, and used her body as a means to communicate, saying like, you can always escape, you don't have to be a Cyberman. She became a Cyberman for some reason, and I'm like, what the hell? But what I do love is Missy. I loved Missy. I love the dynamic between the Doctor and the new Master, which is Missy. I love that. It's why I like Eric July more so than most. He said he hated things and said, I'm going to make my own and sell it. Because he was honest about it. Yeah, I do like Eric July. He made his own comic and everything, but pretty sure everybody knows that. And it was successful. It is successful, actually. It is successful. Seems like good storytelling has gotten worse over the past years anymore. Well, you gotta think about what's going on, what has been going on since like 2020, right? And it's been going on since like 2018, really. But it's the mind think. It's I don't want to say the W word, but there are more activists getting into major roles of entertainment because companies think that they're going to make everything better, and it just didn't. Michelle Gomez over John Sim. Maybe. Well, hold on. Yes. Okay. So you were talking about Missy. Okay. I didn't know her name. I didn't know her name, but thank you for telling me that. Yeah, you were talking about the Master. Didn't they, with Judy Whittaker, they made the Master a like an Indian dude this time, but they made him, everybody loved him like that, which was funny. Further back than that, I would say it was around like 2018, 2020 where people started really shoving that mind thing to everybody. She'll never be as sinister as Roger Delgado, though. Yeah, well, okay. Listen, I think Missy was more sympathetic, right? Missy was a more sympathetic entity, and she was just as like, I would say she was just as like conniving and scheming And if you're talking about Roger Delgado, the man's a legend, though. He was a legendary master. He was the legendary master. And Missy was like a new spin on how the master thought, how they acted. Because at that point, it's like she was basically acting as kind of like the doctor's wife. You think about it. And no, she'll never be as sinister as Roger Delgado. That's never going to happen. She's never going to be as legendary as Roger Caesar Maurice Bernard de Delgado Torres Castello Roberto. Oh my gosh, his name. It's like every time you're born in a generation, you add another name to your name. My father's 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 name. He passed away at the age of 55. I wonder if what he passed away from, though. Oh, but you know what? He was born in March of 1918. He would have been gone by this time anyway. So, surprised he's not an Igneo Montoya. He's not an Igneo Montoya. Not really sure what that pertains. Oh, he's not an Igneo Montoya. You're talking about, oh, the actor. Okay, it's a joke. The actor Igneo Montoya. But like, I wasn't really too sure if that connected. Wait, does he have a long name too? Does the actor for this guy? Okay, who's the actor? Actor of Neo Montoya. Oh, his name is Manny Patinkin. Okay, never mind. I thought something else. I was wrong. I'm wrong. I'm just gonna look past that. It's whatever. And he's still alive. He's 72 right now. The man is still alive. Where'd it go? Actually, oh, it's right there. Oh, you put something in the threads? Let's see. Okay, let me see this.
No. That's how it starts. You give in on one piece of cheese. The next thing you... Load him and load him.
This guy wants the cheese melted on the bread, not on the patty, and he wants kraut on it.
Fine, that'll be a minute. No. That's how it starts. You give in on one piece of cheese. The next thing you know, you're making a ribeye well done, smothered in ketchup. You're being melodramatic.
I'm not being melodramatic.
I'm not talking to you. I'm just making it. I'm not paying for it. Oh, you pay for it in ways you can't even imagine. Sending back a dish is a hostile act. It's a shot across the bow. You're the general. Are you gonna take orders from a fucking customer? Yeah. Hey, how you doing? You ordered a patty melt?
Yeah, is there a problem?
Oh, it's more of a misconception. I'm concerned you don't know what a patty melt is. Patty melt not only implies what it is, but also how it's prepared. The cheese is melted on the patty.
Yeah, I like the cheese melted on the bread.
Well, I'd be a bread melt. Or as it's commonly known, a grilled cheese. How's about I make a nice grilled cheese?
I don't want a grilled cheese. I want a patty melt with kraut with the cheese melted on the bread.
Sorry, I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that?
Well, you give in on one little thing and you compromise, you compromise, you compromise, and until you're the shell of a man beaten down and stand for nothing.
I want to talk to the manager.
A dish is a collection of flavors, consistencies. You start swapping ingredients in that carefully thought out melange, it's like fucking with a Jenga tower of taste. I'm concerned you don't know what you're asking for.
I know what I'm asking for.
Well, kraut on their patty melt is akin to knocking the tower down with a wrecking ball.
And why is it called der patty melt if there ain't no kraut on it?
Der is German for the. The Waffle House, the patty melt.
Well, I want der fucking patty melt with der fucking cheese melted on der fucking bread with der fucking kraut on it. You got it?
No, you got it. On their house.
What the hell? The cancellation of this show was fucking devastating me. I heard there was a movie, but I didn't watch it. This was not 20 years ago. That was an amazing scene. That was an amazing scene. I'm not gonna lie. I would watch that show. Brother, that's good. By the way, what's going on? I haven't seen this show before. Dead Like Me, 2003. Dude, 2003. Oh my god, that was over 20 years ago. This was not 20 years ago? Yeah, this was 20 years. This was over 20 years ago, brother. Dead Like Me was... Wait, let me guess. The guy can see ghosts? Is that what's happening here? Bald Guy is a ghost cook of the restaurant. Okay. Dead Like Me is an American comedy drama television series starring Ellen Muth and Mandy Patinkin as Grim Reapers who reside and work in Seattle. They're Grim Reapers? The main speaker of this show is a Grim Reaper. He had to take the place of a short order cook. So that was a ghost. Okay. The bald guy is a ghost cook of the restaurant, and he was the ghost advising a Grim Reaper. That's funny. And the funny thing is I'm not talking to you. He was just he's talking to the ghost. I wonder what's it like being a Grim Reaper. I guess I don't know, man. That's really cool. That's really cool. Maybe I should. Oh no! If I start, I'm gonna want to watch the whole thing. And they canceled it, dude. No. No. All right. That was good. Thank you for introducing that to me. I can't believe I missed that. Dead Like Me. Man. That seemed like a good series. He wanted justice. And the cook is the guy Mandy character ragged on constantly. Had special requests and the like, so it was kind of revenge for the cook to finally stand up for something. Yo, that was good. It was on Sci-Fi in 2008, where I found it. Oh man. That's really good. It was really good. That was really good. I was thinking about what I was gonna do. What do you think? You think Solo Barony? I could try and get as far as I can in Barony solo. Or Chronicles of the Wolf is a Metroidvania game. Or I could play Marvel Rivals. Or I could play Mario Kart. I think I should probably play Mario Kart, to be honest. The main character gets killed by a toilet seat from a Soviet space station. Does he become a ghost or does he become a Grim Reaper after that? Who is the main character? I'd say either Barony or Mario Kart for my vote. Yeah, try to get as far as possible. Try to do like a solo Barony. She was on her first day of work. Oh, Ellen Moot. And she becomes a Grim Reaper? Or she becomes a ghost? Which one is it? Woo woo. Oh, she becomes a Grim Reaper? So, I wonder why. Why did they hire her? I'm guessing it's kind of like a hiring system then. Like, she was hired to become the Grim Reaper. It's like, you died too early, so... Or she had too many sins or something, I don't know. It's like, you either become a Grim Reaper for 150 years, or go to hell. Let's be a Grim Reaper. Ooh, I just clicked it. This right here epitomizes basically rats. Alright, I shall return. I'll be right back. And can see what we can do with this. Damn, okay. Oh, and it died. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot you can play as. No subscribed workshop item. No. Okay. Um. Probably gonna regret this. Okay. Very relatable. Not making friends until college age and the anxieties of finding a home and yourself. That does sound like something that could. What was this? Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Okay. Guess I'll pick up the axe if I wanted to get something here. Is there anything in there? I could trap people in here. Oh, look at that. Woo! Okay, it was this one. No. See. Oh. Dude. Okay. I got killed by slime. This is the reason why I can't do spellcasters. Is the spell ability here? Can I use that as a means of use? Line from the second episode, you're not gonna get blood pumping sitting behind a desk. Stimulation, don't pay my rent. Can I use this? Can I use? No, I can't.
Best of luck, mortal.
Okay. I hear bats, but like... I need a shield. I really do. I desperately need one. Thank you, Mr. Skeleton. What the heck? I think I ran into a rare mob. Took 30 years of gaming, but we're now back to dungeon crawling. Yeah, well, that's what we do. Cursed. Sneak vision. Don't beat that then. Identify this item. Please don't be cursed. Yay, it's armor. That's cursed. Brand new copy of Wipers. Oh my gosh. The decrepit magic axe. What's this? It's great. Okay, what is this? Can be ingredients in new magic items. Oh, it's cursed. This isn't though. That is not cursed. I need a shield. That's what I need. Amulet, some coins. Saw a rat come through here, so. Ooh. Some shoes. Will this always be the... I guess it will be. Oh, of course. Oh, of course. How did a rat get behind me? How did the frickin' rat get behind me? Oh my god. How did that happen? Oh, okay. I need a shield. Is that a shield or is that just armor? That's a shield. Hello? Okay. Okay. Pokey pokey stick. Another shield. Okay. Let's evaluate the situation here. The shield is cursed. The shield is cursed. What the? And what helps with this? The intelligence. Intelligence makes me. It's probably what I really do need, though. I knew it! Oh! I knew it! I knew it. I knew it was that. I knew it. I knew it. I was just like, this is way too conspicuous. Oh man. You know what spoiled me on gaming? I tried to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey and felt let down. I spent too much time in Souls games now that Western RPGs just suck. Oh man, that speedrun? Absolutely. I knew it! It's like going through frickin' Palace of the Dead, bro. Only worse. Swear I need to be a ninja or something. Let me see. This is the same exact scenario here. Oh, dead end. Another dead end. Another dead end. No bread, nothing like that. Some monies. Being like, oh! Who's standing right there? Is the Black Mage experience in Pot D? I would not run. I would never want to run that in Pot D. Water breathing, I can use that in later floors. The brand new spell book. What we got? Damn, brand new spell book. And I learned Force Bolt. Coming. Alright, take your shield. Okay, well, shields are just not my day today. They're just stamp scroll. Adventure, what the hell? That looks like a cracked gem. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? No, that this'll work. This'll work. Why, you ask? Ooh, a lantern and a flaw. Okay, so the lantern is probably going to be good if I can get that to work. It's cursed. Okay. So now I have a lantern. I need levitate. I do not have levitate. Eh. Oh no, the rock! I didn't think it would actually get destroyed. What's up, buddy? Moldy. There's a cracked ring. There's a slingshot. Use a slingshot. Come! Thank you. Serviceable. I don't know what that was. Whoop! Backing away. I got hit. Oh, there's the exit. So you can't use the book again, right? Okay. Faded. Well, I gotta make sure. Ooh. I am not psychic. Both do the same thing. Don't know what that is yet. Alright, and I'm hungry. I just blew the door down. I didn't mean to do that. The bats killed me, dude. The bats. The bats! Oh, now I'm a ninja. Making this the last run, and maybe I'll head out. No trap. that moldy? That's moldy. Get that out of here. Sure. And I got a flawed ring. Aha! What's up with my potions? Let's see. That is blindness, so I can throw it, I guess. Cursed fish. Of course I get something cursed. There we go. Okay, been here before, right? Probably not. Probably not. I think I already have a cape. Jerk. Wait, way to figure out what is what. Oh, the bullet already went off. Ugh!
My pet hungers for human flesh. It would be wise to abandon this place soon, mortal.
Will be a succubus. Exit is revealed. you!
My military is hungry. We best not go here much longer, Marshal.
Damn it. I should have ran back. Yeah, no. They didn't like me they didn't like me running out of the dungeon before the Minotaur came, so they were just like, you know what, here's another one. And I'm like, ah, thanks. That's what I wanted. Hello! Yes, Ashley. Also, I might just go to Mario Kart. I don't know. It might be time for me to head out anyway. Good luck. Had a moment where I saw Albert Wesker cosplayer and thought for a second the 14 player was brought to life. Help? What? 14 player brought to life? I forgot that it was originally a Resident Evil character and not the Dragoon guy. The Dragoon guy. Albert Wesker looking like the Dragoon guy. You mean Estinian? Or do you mean somebody else? Estinian and Albert Wesker do not look anything alike. Wesk Albert. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Wesk Albert is. Mayhaps I've seen him around, maybe, but I don't know who that is. Hold on, I just got a message. The content creator. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Okay. I'm gonna end it here. And I will hopefully see you guys later this week. What the plan is that tomorrow I'm going to be going to an interview, and hopefully I will rock that interview so hard that they'll just give me the job right there on that day. Other than that, he does guides to 100 on all jobs. Well, then I don't know. I don't need any of those guides. I don't need any guide to get me from 1 to 100 on anything. So that's probably reason why I've never seen. I've probably seen the name somewhere, but yeah, I'm not associated with the guy. But I will see you guys later, and hopefully, the interview will go peachy. I'll see you guys. Adieu.